Yeah, there's so much power in networking and in surrounding yourself with like-minded people and curating all your inputs. I think the most important input that you can curate is your physical environment. Let me put up the music.
Oh shit, wrong one.
Is the most important thing you can curate or input you can curate is your physical environment and the people that you surround yourself with. And I just realized that again yesterday. Being around all the other boys in Cape Town, and just if I compare those conversations with conversations I have on the daily with just normal people or just
the average Joe.
Yeah, it's completely different.
And also we were talking about this as we were heading back home after the dinner. We talked about like the level of conversation is just so much different.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy. Like there's no sentence that is wasted on nonsense, essentially. There's nothing of like, oh, did you see this one sports team won that? Like there's no bullshit like whatsoever. It's just straight up value every single time. Oh, there's actually a beautiful Porsche. It's a nice blue Porsche. Kind of looks like the Porsche from or the car from Cars. What's the
the girl. Sandy.
Sandy.
No way, is it Sandy?
Sandy, isn't Sandy the chipmunk from SpongeBob?
No way.
Look, Sandy.
Yeah.
Anyways, while we're at the dinner, a lot of people always ask like, how do you get into these rooms? Like we were literally in like a cigar room. Like, how do you get into these rooms? It was like an exclusive room, and the thing is, you only need to get like that. Even Nick talked about that on a previous podcast. He was like, you just want that first connection.
Yeah.
That first one, then it's game. Then you can get into any room essentially. And we had a pretty good chat with one of the boys there. He read this book called The Third Door, and like, when people think that you need to go into, like, let's say you're going into a club, like there's one door, it's the entrance, the second door is like the VIP entrance, and there's always a third door.
Always
a third door, and like a secret way to get into the room. And it might be like, people think that you need to make a certain amount of money to get into like the networking space, but like you can provide value in other way as well. Like, being social, being like, let's say in Dubai, I know there's like a dating coach or whatever. He doesn't necessarily make as much money, but like he's helping entrepreneurs make, or like get girlfriends or like get dates or whatever. Like that's valuable for the entrepreneurs because they are spending most of their time, making money. So obviously they're sacrificing a bit of the relationships. So then that's value. So you should just look at, assess where you're currently at, see where your interests lie, and just go very, very deep on that, because usually if you have a lot of interest in something, you naturally learn more from it, and then you will get better and you'll be able to provide value to any like, circle essentially, and then you can get into the circle. That's probably the easiest way to do it. Huh? What's up?
Wie? Nee, die mag je niet transkyk doen nie.
What is on
South Africa is crazy. I just spoke to a taxi. But essentially the main premise of that book,
Loki just wanted to steal the car. Like,
I have no idea what he just said.
No, he says he wants your bucket.
Anyways, the main premise of the book is all about your third door being, the average person, and more just the average life in the normal paradigm is a very linear path. Being, you finish high school, you go and study, you get a degree, you get a job, then you maybe get married somewhere, and then maybe get a promotion, whatever, then you level up. It's very linear, and it takes 30-40 years, and then hopefully when you're at 70, you have enough money in your retirement fund to then be able to stop working because working sucks. The entire premise of the third door, now I haven't read the book, but that's what the boy or the guy said. I actually forgot his name.
Ethan.
But Ethan, that's what Ethan said. Is the third door is all about transcending that and living an exponential life. Meaning, like, why do you need a degree and to go through all these steps, and why does it need to take 40 years to step into that ideal self and your ideal reality and getting that massive job paying you a shit ton of money, And so it's just transcending that. And the main premise of that entire book, and the way all these wealthy guys did it, was they just got connected to someone on the other side that brought them through that level, which is essentially comes down to networking. It is all about who you know. Yeah. And essentially what I want to add on to what Andrew just said and how to get into these places is, well, You just need to add value to people in that environment. It doesn't really matter how. You just need to add enough value to actually be a part of it. And now you can either do that via two ways. You either pay to get into an environment like that via being in a community, but maybe it's like a mentor of yours, like mastermind or something,
That's good.
retreat,
That's
client
massive.
retreat. So you either pay, which is valuable to people, obviously. And then secondly, maybe because you're authority in a certain position or in a niche, you might be able to add some information or some perspective from a certain situation. You have knowledge that is also obviously valuable.
Yeah.
And those are essentially the two main ways to do it.
I think knowledge is extremely underrated. It's literally just what you don't know. That's keeping you stuck, essentially.
Oh yeah.
That's all it is. And we all like say this so much, but read a lot. Like you should spend at least 2-3 hours of your day learning.
Yeah.
Whether that's going through courses or reading books,
Yeah.
YouTube videos. It's so valuable.
Yeah.
It literally changes how you see the world, how you spot opportunities. It's so valuable. And a lot of people just think it's action, right? It's like this whole analogy of, let's say, I think I already said this, but I will just say it again. So, this group of people crashed on an island, right? And they only had like machetes on them. And the people, obviously crashed. They need to find a spot need to find some food, need to find shelter, whatever. And they were slicing through the forest with their machetes, like the perfect angle, working extremely hard, doing everything right. And then there was just one guy who just climbed up the tree, right? And he looked, from above and looked down. He's like, yo, guys, you're working extremely hard. Nice form down there, but you're going in the wrong direction. And that happens a lot. People are working very hard in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And like Warren Buffett said, it doesn't matter how hard you row, it matters in which boat you're in. It's smart work and then work hard. So I see a lot of people as well, they say, oh, just smart work. But ultimately you need to work smart. Like the guy on the trees is like, okay, you're working hard, but you're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So first work smart, see where the opportunities lie. It's constantly changing with new trends, new technology, whatever, AI. So see where the world is heading, see where you can provide value, solve problems essentially, and then work hard at that.
Yeah.
And to use the analogy, so it's up there, he's like, okay guys, you're working hard, but go that way and work hard.
Exactly.
There's the shelter, there's the gold or the treasure.
Yeah.
So you need both. It's always both with most things.
I mean, also, sometimes you don't even know how to climb, for example, a tree. All you know is how to cut down trees. That's all you know. That is where mentorship comes in, and especially if you want to dial in on a certain niche or service, like if you know what niche you are in a service, you're probably justified to just work very hard, and you're ignorant to different and better ways and ideas. And so all you really can do is just work really hard with the knowledge that you do have. And the best thing to then do is to invest in mentorship and in knowledge in that specific line of field or field. And then I guarantee you, how much Andrew and I's approach to business and goals and stuff changed in the past just 6 months alone is crazy. And I would say that's a mark of being humble, because what are you doing? You're coming to a realization that what you previously thought was the best way was not, and you only realize that by, investing into mentorship, into wisdom and knowledge, essentially, and then via that, then adapt and change your route. Because what is this mentor of yours doing? In that specific line and niche that you are in, he's already on top of the tree. Okay, so he can now easily tell you where to go and where to, curate your inputs into, where to channel all that hard work. Because like I previously mentioned I think it's in this podcast, it was yesterday, so it's a bit difficult, the timelines, whatever. But I think I said, there's a lot of people going nowhere really fast. And I mean, that was me literally a year or two ago. So yeah, I think knowledge, mentorship, and that's Andrew and I, we speak about this a lot. That's essentially everything. Because, everybody speaks about discipline and hard work, and it's so important. But if you can channel that into the right direction, you don't really need to work that hard. Obviously, there's those 8 cylinders, but smart work is much more important than hard work, in my opinion.
It's knowledge and action. That's ultimately what it boils down to. Need to learn, read books, do all of that, and then take action. Those are the qualities of like successful people. They learn a lot, they read a lot, they spend a lot of time learning, analyzing, strategizing, and acting. From like idea to, action, like that timeline is very, very short. So yeah, that just about wraps it up.